Hello friends, let's go ahead and make a pumpkin out of this cute piece here. This was made into a little riser and I decided to repurpose it. So we're just going to use some Paint Pixie in the cream puff. Go ahead and give that a new coat of paint. I'm going to put a little bit around the sides. It looks like I used a lot of oxide on that. I want to kind of lighten that just a little bit. We won't worry about the bottom right now. We're going to make this a pumpkin. I just want to get a coat of paint on there and get that dried up. So dry tool, dry that up a little bit. And that feels dry. We're going to use cute print on this. Get a piece of this print from Reba Rose Creations. It's called, I believe it's Autumn Truck. Isn't that cute? I went ahead and drew off on the back, and we're just going to get a piece of that. I'm going to just go ahead and tear it because I do want to stay in the circle. I'm going to cut kind of outside of it, and then I will just give it a little tear. I like mine have a little bit of tear on it. So you can use part of a print, or you can use the whole print, or you can save part of it and use it on two different projects. So I think this will be plenty big, so we'll just go ahead and tear it a little bit, give it a nice little look. You could water pen it if you want to. I prefer not to do that because I use too much water and kind of get my print too wet, and then I have watermarks. So I either use a ruler or my hands to tear mine a little bit. I love this truck with the pumpkins. It just says fall to me. So it's not feeling like fall here today. A little bit of a heat wave in the south. Okay. All right, let's see if we need to tear it down just a little bit more. We can sand some off, but I like to kind of get it where I want. Go ahead and take a little bit more off of here. I kind of size mine. I'm okay with sanding it, but I do like to kind of get it kind of close to where I want it. And I just use a cream or a white background and then go back and either put some oxides or some ink on there and bring it around, or you can paint up to your print as well. So I think that's pretty close. We'll go ahead and get our Mod Podge. That's what we have left. I will save this little part because I might use those pumpkins or something on something smaller. So let's get our Mod Podge in the multi. I'm just going to get a sponge. I think we got it dry. Let's now put it down. I liked the little beads, and I thought I want to keep that just like it is and make it just be something a little different. So now we're going to iron it on. Use a little piece of parchment paper. And I just start in the middle with my little travel iron and kind of go out. That's going to help reactivate that glue. You want it to be down good before you do sand it. It does work a lot better. Let's take our sander. I've just got one of those sanders you get from Amazon. You can find that on my Amazon shop in my link tree. I like this. Let's put some oxide on there. Let's do the walnut distress oxide by Tim Holtz. You can also use a wax, any of the waxes that you have. I'm just going to take this one and put right here on the edge. We're just going to make that look a little bit more vintage and fix those edges. Especially if you have some of the white paper still on there, you want to kind of finish off those edges just so they don't just look like you just stuck a piece of paper on your project, that you do have something that kind of blends it in. Or you can take some paint, match up your paint, and you can paint around there as well. Let's put a little bit back on these beads, but not as much as was on there. We're not going to worry about the bottom right now. We can go back and do that. And I think I'm going to make this a pumpkin. Now this will either have to hang or it will just be a prop against a wall, because this is probably not going to sit even. I just thought it would be a cute, quick project. Now I'll go back and seal that after it dries completely. Let's see if we have something else we might want to put on here. Now we can go in and add some things. So I do have a little star, I believe. I'm going to mix a little bit of the Aperol Spritz. That's going to be your orange. And a little bit of the chocolate souffle, and that's going to be our brown. I'll put just a squirt. Let me get a little bitty brush here. Let me find another one. I did not like that one. Let's try this one. Okay, I'm going to put just a little bit of water. I like to wet my brushes. They do a lot better if they're kind of wet and can loosen up your hairs on it a little bit. Okay, let's take a little bit of the brown and put it with that orange and make us have just kind of a more of a rustic orange to put on here. Now you could also use the red and make you a rustic red. Totally up to you which one you want to use. I'm just going to paint our star up just a little. Won't take long at all for that. I like that one. Now I think we're going to take a little bit of some cinnamon and put it on there, make it look a little bit more rustic, or some pumpkin spice. Let's take a little bit of our pumpkin spice here, and let's just put a little bit of sprinkle of that. You want to do it while it's wet, and that's going to give you more of a grungy look for your little star. So let's dry that now, and kind of be careful when you dry it, because you don't want to blow all your pumpkin spice off. And we'll just put a little hot glue, hold it really easily so we don't knock it all off. And let's get it ready to go on our barn. So I'm going to put it right there up on that barn window. That looks cute. And it looks like it's got fall leaves all over it. I like that. That looks pretty. So let's take a little bit of our color that we mixed here. And I think I'm going to have to get the other brush that I have that's just got just a little bit of, this one's just got a few little hairs. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to go around these pumpkins just a little bit and give them a little bit of a highlight, so you can kind of see that part a little bit better, but without taking away from our print. Just going to add that just a little bit in there. Not something you have to do. I just like to add a little bit of depth sometimes to our print. Okay. That looks good. I'm not going to have to do a whole lot to this. Y'all see I got a little water on there from my brush right in here. So I'm going to take a little bit of my gray paint, and this is Foggy Martini, and a little bit of that brown. Let me wash this brush out. And I'm going to see if I can kind of get that color a little bit right here, this little gray color, darken it just a little bit, and see if I can just kind of go over that just just a little bit with the gray, and then maybe I can put something on there to kind of fix that. And then we can put a little bit of, we'll put a little bit of the gold. Got some gold flowers. We'll try a little bit of that too. That's some juicy mango. And that'll just give it another 3D effect, but it'll kind of cover up where I accidentally got a little water on it. So that's why I don't like to take mine off with a water pen, because sometimes you have water in your brush and stuff and it'll get on there. So I'm just going to go over our barn like that's supposed to be there. Just add a little bit of lines to it. That's going to help fix that. And now I'm going to take a little bit of that gold on the edge of my brush and just kind of do a few of those in a little bit darker. Looks like it just blends in. Looks like it's supposed to be there. And that's just going to kind of bring that gold back in without showing our little mistake there. So that's how you can fix it. Just use some paint. And now we've got it to where you can't really tell that it had, now we've got a glue stream. We'll get that off. Sometimes you can blow those off. We'll get that off. And now you can't really tell. The gold is just kind of blending back in with that and looking like it goes there. So we'll put just a tad more in a couple places right in here. And it just looks like it goes right there, and you can't really tell that you have a little watermark there. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and just like these little yellow flowers over here too. And that's just going to give it all kind of the same look, like it looks like it's supposed to be that way without ruining your project. So there we go. Let's put a little stem on here. I've got some different things for stems. Let me see, I might have another. Here's a bigger stick. All right, let's see if we can put this in here on the edge. Let's see if we can get a little piece of this and maybe see if we can kind of stick it in the edge here where it looks like a little stem. I'm just going to use this. This came out of our yard. Just be sure and dry them, freeze them, do something where you don't have bugs. Okay, I'm just going to take that off. We're going to glue it right up here to where it looks like a pumpkin in between these little beads. Thinking this one, we'll put it in this one here. Let's look, make sure we got our truck straight. Decide which place I like it better. I think right in here. I'm just going to take some hot glue. We're just going to put that right in there. And I'm adding some glue because we're going to put some moss on there. So let's get this where we have a little bit of from moss too. Okay, I'm going to put that right in there. Hold that in a minute. It's just going to go right there. Let's get a little bit more. I like the Spanish moss in the fall. Let's put a little bit more glue down there. Be careful with your hot glue. Make sure that you do protect your fingers. Okay, that's going on right there. Okay, and a little bit on this side. There we've got our little moss. We can trim that up a little bit. Let's make sure that's in good. Maybe add a little bit more glue right here to the back. Make sure that's in good. There we go. Now let's put a little bit of greenery with it, or some leaves. Okay, let's put a little bit of this greenery. This is my favorite greenery because you can use this all year. I'm going to cut that right there. Put a little piece of that in. And let's get a piece for our other side. Okay. Alright, we got that right there. And we'll put this right here. And that gave us a little greenery for that. And I think we'll put a little bit more moss right here, so that because that did have to be a little bit offset since we couldn't put it exactly in the middle. So let's add a little bit more of our Spanish moss here. See if we can get that in there. There's a little bit here. Let's just put that in. Give a little bit more on that side and just a tad more on this side. I'm okay with a little bit of moss. And we'll cut off what we don't use. So we can trim that up just a little bit. And don't throw that away because you can use that. Okay, and then I'm going to push it back. Trim off just a little bit more in here. There we go. Now, that looks cute. Let's see how this leaf looks. I've got some of these wood leaves. Let's see how this looks with it. I may have some other leaves as well. Got a hole in here. Let's see if I like that. I kind of like that leaf, so let's put it kind of right here against our stem. It's a little orange leaf, little wood leaf. I'm gonna like that right there, so I think we'll leave that right there. That's just gonna kind of set that off just a little bit. Let's move it just a tad. There we go. I think that'll work now. And let's just put it where it'll kind of rest upon our little stick. There we go. Okay. Now, that's what we have. So you could also do some other things on here if you want to stencil, stamp a little bit on here, or you could put some molds on here, anything you like. I thought I'd just leave it simple, and we will just prop it up like this, or we'll put a little piece of jute on the back and hang it. So isn't that cute? What a cute idea. All right, I'm gonna fix my leaf just a little bit. Thank you for watching. I hope that you now will hit that subscribe button, give me a heart, and ring that bell so you can be notified when I have another video ready. Have a blessed day.